Ladies and gentlemen of the beautiful crypto space, we have got some trouble in paradise. And actually, not the bad kind of trouble. Rather, it's some of the most beautiful news that's been going around over the past couple of days and hours, really, that are making me super excited. And it's basically like I've already been covering for the past few days, Trump's tariffs, which caused the prices to really fluctuate quite significantly. I would say almost any other country and their tariffs to basically not get reciprocal tariffs by Trump. It's a very interesting situation, yes, for sure. We've also got Circle IPO. We've got, what I'm about to show you here in terms of news, there's just so much going on. Make sure you press that like button and let's dive right in. So I'd say one of the most interesting pieces of the day was that Eric Trump said that Bitcoin was one of the greatest stores of value. And the question that came after that was, or are they really going to be pushing this so hard to make the US the hub of crypto? Well, really, when I look at it, it really does seem that way. And along the sides, we've got Israel taking away their tariffs on things just to make sure that Trump doesn't hit them with more reciprocal tariffs. And really, right now, the White House says President Trump made up his mind on the tariffs. Wall Street will be just fine. Steady lads is going to be crazy because really, the last 24 hours, it has been completely crazy with how much the crypto space is moving. In terms of news, I would say nothing really too extremely crazy. Look at this. BlackRock gains FCA approval as crypto firm in the UK. Pretty big deal. Like I show you right here, BlackRock has been approved as a crypto firm by the FCA, allowing the investment giant to provide crypto services in the UK. They're taking over crypto while you sleep. And again, these guys know something that many others do not want to accept. Regardless, also over in Texas, the Democrats' bill to buy 250 million in Bitcoin set stage for the first state crypto reserve. Let's quickly go back right here. And again, if we just keep scrolling through, you'll find some of the craziest news that's been going around. Mexican President 𝗕𝗙𝘀 says a response to the US tariffs will be announced in about a day or so. What is Mexico going to do? And at the same time, while this is all happening, hey, I can see myself in the reflection right there. We hit $85,000 per Bitcoin, but really most altcoins did not spike up. And I'm guessing that's because a lot of the news that's going on right now are not too crazy for alts. And it's not really that time. But again, give it some time. In my opinion, if you keep buying those dips, it still should be fine. MasterCard is building the Venmo of crypto, bringing blockchain to 3.5 billion cardholders. Yep, we all know. 250 million USDC was just minted. And again, even the issuer of this, Circle, actually just announced that we're going for an IPO. Will ETH hit $3,000 by May with its 20 to 30% historic April-May surge? And that basically means if we take a look at this time period, right, the April and May time period, this is usually where Ethereum starts to shine. And it brings up an interesting point. We've had a couple of months of just absolute garbage. Well, but how many months of garbage can you really have? It's been 4 months in a row of garbage. If we look at the past, there's been one time back in 2018 where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row of just absolute ridiculousness and garbage. I wonder what this is going to be, since we've already had 4, like I just stated, with 1 being very minus though. If we take a look at the last few years, it's never really been more than 4. The last time that it was that case was all the way back in 2018. So it's just interesting to take a look at. Having said that, the White House says the gold reserves may be used to purchase more Bitcoin. I think, again, it's a culmination of all these things going around that is making people so excited. Inflation is down over 50% since January. The Fed has no excuse and rate cuts should be on the table. Interesting. Grayscale filed for their S3 application for digital large cap fund ETF. And also, I'm not sure exactly which issuer it was, but they were applying for a BNB ETF right now. So yeah, Elon Musk says the US government deleted 1 terabyte of financial data to hide their crap. But here we go for that. Take a look. Circle, stablecoin issuer, files for the IPO. BNB ETF filing by Van Eck. We've also got Arthur Hayes, who just got pardoned by Trump, by the way, the founder of BitMEX. Predicting Bitcoin could hit $250,000 by the end of the year, setting the Fed's shift towards Treasury quantitative easing and a massive liquidity injection as a catalyst for a major run. We also had a coin, one of the AI leading coins, ACT, go on a bit of a rugging spree. Well, I don't know even exactly what happened. The price just went down by, basically 99%. Dear ACT community, we want to assure you that we're fully aware of the situation and looking into what exactly is happening. But it was an interesting one, right? You can see right there, crazy liquidations, I'd say. And they're all blaming Binance, but I don't know exactly what it means. So I can speculate, but it's still a little bit of an unsure situation. But that's actually interesting. DWF Labs, a very well-known market maker, very well-known crypto firm, they said, what is going on? It seems someone has been hacked or banned, or I don't know, because I can't explain why so many unrelated assets dumped. Some stuff is going on with someone. And again, that's why people were blaming Binance of sorts, because many meme coins and many coins that are not really in some close connection to one another all fell at the exact same time, or at least sometime close to one another. For some reason, this is now stuck. But regardless, it's not too important. Also, we've got here Larry Fink saying every stock, every bond, every fund, every asset can be tokenized. And that is actually one of the most interesting things. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink warns the dollar is at risk of losing the world reserve currency status to Bitcoin. I agree, and it makes sense. But actually, if we get back to this, one of the main reasons that people do not only stack Bitcoin, but are also very open to stacking all these different coins. By the way, I am still over in Bali, still enjoying, in this case here, the beautiful outside. We got some water down there, but hey, they said be a bit afraid of opening your door because there's fruits here and there's monkeys outside. So that was a really interesting one. That's a little side story. I don't know exactly why I told you that just now. Sometimes I just like to go on a little bit of a tangent. I was trying to say, one of the reasons that people buy all sorts of different altcoins, not just Bitcoin, has to do with that idea of, well, if they're going to tokenize everything, what chain is that going to be on? Where is that going to be stationed, so to speak? A lot of people like to say it's going to be XRP or something a bit more meant for tokenization as Ethereum or Solana. I'm thinking, well, it does make sense for it to be faster than Ethereum or a bit more efficient. Maybe some update in the future can let it be done. People like XRP for this reason, because they're basically in the same line. And actually, really, the last few weeks, people have started to focus more on just these US-based cryptocurrencies and firms, like I've already been saying. And I still think that those will have the craziest run this season. Now, as it currently stands, I'm just looking at prices while I'm talking to you. Yes, we are not doing the craziest of performances, okay? Actually, the entire market here is up ever so slightly. XRP is up 0.2% today. Bitcoin is up 2% today. Oh, excuse me, up 0.3. Ethereum is up 2.5. It's basically a bit of a nothing burger, with the best gainer being EOS plus 20%, and the worst being DEXA at minus 17, IP at minus 11. It's just a bit of a nothing day though. But again, that's the point. Right now, it's not altcoin season. Right now, it's not the time where you go for these momentum type of things. All we're doing right now is just stacking up on altcoins, which can most likely do well over a prolonged period of time because the fundamentals are being just strengthened. And then again, it becomes a question of, well, if we know for certain that Bitcoin's going to do well, right? I'm at least quite sure about it. Which other coins will do a similar sort of performance with not that much drawdown because of what I explained yesterday, where if you go down 50%, you got to make 100% to make it back, right? So you do not want to go down that much because we all know that in the bull market, it's so easy to make these gains. And it's a bull market, sure, but it's a bad period of it. So focusing right now, minimizing the loss while also accumulating some of the coins that have the best chance of getting a crazy runner going. But again, while at the back of our minds, minimizing the loss. It's a bit of a mixture of sorts. But yeah, that's mostly what we're busy with right now, just updating ourselves on all the crazy news that's going on. But in the meantime, you're just realizing that this is not going to stop. It's strengthening in every way, shape, or form. And you know what? That's about it, guys. Hopefully, see you getting another one. Trump's tariffs is everything that's going on, and I can cover it even 2 times a day if you want me to. But the problem is, I prefer sometimes in a market like this to not give too many updates because, well, we have Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer says 20% tariffs on import would be horrendous for the economy. And then another person you watch says, no, actually, Trump could spin this into a beautiful thing, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of back and forth on tariffs. Most of the last few days has just been tariffs, and Trump, causing a lot of interesting moves in the market. But yeah, if something crazy happens, I'll be here. But for the most part, it's just a lot of back and forth. So yeah, if something happens, I'll be here, updating y'all. If you want to trade, guys, a link is down below to Blowfin. It's the platform I'm trading on. You can use from anywhere in the world. And that's about it.